everybody, time for another unit preview of a Students History, U.S. History curriculum. I'm Luke, and I want to show you the Great Depression unit. This is an important unit in our U.S. History curriculum, obviously looking at the 1930s. We're from the stock market crash of 1929 all the way through the end of the Great Depression, and some review and then your assessment to close out the unit on day 8. This is based off a block schedule, so if you teach daily classes, this could be about 15 classes or so, or almost 3 weeks for U.S. History curriculum. So we look at the stock market on day 1. We have an interactive stock market project where kids learn about how the stock market works. They buy some stocks, and then we're going to keep track of those throughout the unit and see at the end of the unit, at the end of those 3 weeks, have they made money or lost money? And then imagine, what if they borrowed a whole bunch and bought on margin? How much could they win or lose? A lot of kids have been making money lately, but that could obviously change, and at least kids can understand now how you can lose large sums of money in the stock market if the price goes down, which happened in 1929. Then on day 2, we go through the Great Depression as a whole. There's a PowerPoint with guided notes, a flipped classroom video, Google Slides options. There's some graphic organizers and a digital notebook activity they can use to learn kind of the big picture of the Great Depression, from Herbert Hoover and his policies and Hoovervilles through the election of FDR, his New Deal, a lot of these alphabet agencies and what they did to try to end the Depression. We look at some more of those on day 3, along with looking at the Dust Bowl. Kids will make some interactive maps in their notebooks of the Dust Bowl and how it impacted. They'll read a primary source letter from a family who was affected by the Dust Bowl who describe it. They look at some of these New Deal agencies in cooperative learning groups, and they make some posters for the different New Deal agencies, the alphabet agencies like the CCC, the AAA, the TVA, etc. Day 4, we look at Yui Long and his Share Our Wealth program. Yui Long was this charismatic figure who rose in popularity during this era because he was really pushing for sharing the wealth and taking it from the wealthy and imposing an income cap and sharing that with those with lower incomes. We're going to analyze the New Deal, whether it's a success or a failure in student size, in that next day, getting them to think critically about it and the impact that it had on Americans. The next day, we're looking at kind of a little-known aspect of this era. It's known as Mexican repatriation, when obviously there was a shortage of jobs during the Great Depression, many people out of work, so it was a backlash against some people of Mexican-American heritage in the United States, specifically in the West. And a lot of Mexican Americans were sent back to Mexico, repatriated during this time period, hundreds or thousands in some areas. And I'll look at that Mexican repatriation there in that lesson. Then we're going to review the New Deal. We're going to review the Great Depression. We have some review games, some review activities that you can use there. There's an awesome unit guide packet that really covers this whole unit and gets them ready for that assessment. On the last day of the unit, there's a couple tests that you can use here. There's one that you can use for students first time around, another one for retakes as well. There's also a critical thinking essay test that you can use as well, where kids are analyzing documents, DBQ kind of style test, which is good for this unit as well. There's Google Forms versions of these, so you can have them doing the tests online. And then we also have all the distance learning materials here in one spot as well. So if you are teaching virtually or online, you have all the digital activities in one spot there, with reading and online assessments as well. And those are also linked through all the lessons as well. There's always going to be videos in the lessons, Google Docs, printable materials. So there's some engaging materials for each class period of your unit. It's all paced out for you, so you don't have to worry about your pacing. You don't have to stress about what you're going to teach each day. It's all done for you, and it's all great lessons that are going to engage students and keep them active in your class and enjoying your U.S. History classroom. It's great for middle school. It's great for high school. I think it would be great for you. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. It's Luke@studentshistory.com, and I would be happy to help you out. Thanks.